Welcome to the Random-esque Podcast with your hosts, Dr. Paul Banks and Jim Mooney. And remember, always stay random-esque.
What's up, randommies?
Yo, randommies.
Welcome to the Random-esque Podcast, where we say, always stay random-esque. Hey, Paul, we're out in the
wild world of West Orange, New Jersey.
Yeah, we're in the wild West Orange, New Jersey. It sounds like we're in the Wild West.
I've always wondered why you have a West Orange, a South Orange, and East Orange.
And they call the whole thing the Oranges, right?
But there's a North Orange.
Yeah, there is no North Orange, is there?
There's no North Orange.
Maybe oranges don't grow in the north or something
That's
like that.
That's possible.
Maybe that's why. That could be a possibility. We should probably get our research team checking into that because burning minds and randommies want to know.
Yeah.
So we're here at the Cambria Hotel in West Orange, New Jersey, and we're visiting with our good friend Cassey Del Monico.
All right, Casey.
Woohoo, Cassey! Who is hosting us this evening. So thank you, Cassey. We do appreciate it. And as you can hear, we have a live audience of randommies here at the taping. So randommies, thank you. So we're here at the Cambria West Orange, and you can visit them at CambriaWestOrange.com. And you didn't ask me about my sunglasses and why I'm wearing sunglasses tonight.
We're waiting for the crowd to stop you.
Oh, you're waiting for the crowd. Okay, crowd.
Silence.
Silence. It's like the Pope.
Well, I was going to ask you.
Yeah. Like,
is it like kind of some kind of like?
So like tonight, like today, I'm pretty cool, right? So I was buying some wine earlier, and as I'm checking out, I'm getting ready to walk out, and I put my sunglasses on. The guy said, "Wow, you look really cool in those sunglasses." So I thought, yeah, I'm gonna wear them.
Who was that? Stevie Wonder?
Yeah, no, it was not Stevie Wonder. No, it was not Stevie Wonder. No, it was a gentleman working at the wine store. So I just wanted.
They are a good look for you. They are a good look.
I look pretty cool, right?
They do.
Yeah.
They divide your face.
Yeah, they hide my face better, much better, actually. Very true. So anyway. But yeah, we're here at the Cambria Hotel, and it's really cool because I didn't realize that because we're such big celebrities, they actually put in a green room for us over there. It's really cool. It's off to the right. It says like something on it like sun dry room or something like that. So they have like this fancy name for it. So I went in and helped myself to some stuff like this Diet Coke over there.
I thought the green room said men on it.
What's that?
I thought the green room said men on it.
No. It said sun dry or something.
I did not see
They had
green
some
room.
fancy name for it because normally it just says green room. So I just went in and helped myself and grabbed a bunch of stuff. And as I was walking past the front desk, the lady kind of gave me like a weird look, right? And I'm like, what? And I'm like, are you taking an inventory? That's nice because then you can keep it replenished for our green room over here.
Did you help yourself to
And
punch and cookies?
she's like, wait a minute. What room are you in? I'm like, what does that matter to your inventory? And I told her my room number, and then she was good. So I don't know. But they set up this whole green room for us. It was amazing. Really cool stuff. So thank you for that, Cassey. I really do appreciate that.
See, he gets the superstar treatment.
Yes, I do.
I just get to go and sit down, put your hat and shirt on, and
I have. You should see my contract. It is about 80 pages long of just things that have to be in my green room.
How much of that can you read?
And it's like Diet Coke, Coors Light has to be in there. There has to be some soft pretzels. And, hot cheeses from my high school, they have to be in there. What stuff's in your green room?
It's the men's room.
Oh, it's the men's room. That's your green room.
They sent me the men's room. Yes. I had a sink and a toilet.
I'm just that kind of guy.
I'm
like Sinatra when I walk into a hotel.
But
I need a whole green room.
I did have the automatic paper towel dispenser.
Yeah, you did.
I did. So
Anyway, we should probably move on here with talk about the three topics of conversation. First, we're going to discuss West Orange's most famous resident, and none other than Mr. Invention himself, Thomas Edison, is from West Orange, New Jersey.
To give him, excuse me,
Yes?
to give him respect, you have to say Thomas Alva Edison.
Oh, Thomas Alva.
Can't
Edison.
leave
You're
that-
always schooling me. You're
Can't
really
leave
good
that
at
out.
Should we call Mr. Thomas Alva Edison too?
But did he have a PhD?
What's that, piled higher and deeper?
No, then he'd be a Dr. Edison.
Dr. Edison. He has a town named after him. That's kind of cool.
He does.
I don't have a town named after me. Anyway, his enrichment that he provided our lives with his various inventions. And we'll discuss Mr. Edison's impact on the world with attorney Michael Kaplonski, who's here in the house this evening. Woo! Who is well versed in everything Edison and an aficionado. We will then have a chat with our good friend Cassey Del Monico, who is the sales director here at the Cambria Hotel. And remember, it's CambriaWestOrange.com. And we will also, Cassey has an interesting background. She is from NOLA, none other than New Orleans, Louisiana. That's her hometown. So we're going to talk about that. I've never been there, but I'm going to learn. I'm going to get schooled tonight.
You know what I find interesting? That Aaron Nola is from Nola.
Yeah. Oh, he is from NOLA.
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. I kind of wondered. Just moving on, Randommies, remember that comedian Mike Marino is going to have a conversation with us in November, and we'll be taping at TV 36 in Clark. So stay tuned for more. Check out Mike's upcoming tour schedule at mikemarino.net. That's mikemarino.net for ticket information and show times. And again, he's really funny. Barb and I have seen him multiple times, and he's hysterical. We also want to give a couple shout outs to some fundraisers that are going on. Good friend Joe Midnack is raising funds for a veterans home, a homeless veterans home in Westfield, New Jersey. And you can reach out to Joe at LS as in Sam, VH.org. Joe at LS as in Sam, VH.org. And, donate to help the homeless veterans. And if you remember last week, we had a great conversation with Alyssa from the Children's Specialized Hospital. They have their fundraiser going on for the foundation, and that's give2csh.org. That's give2csh.org. And a quick shout out to our own sponsors, the New Jersey Festival Orchestra. You can visit them at njfestivalorchestra.org. Florham Park Dental Excellence with Paul Banks, the doctor in the house over here. And that's at florhamparkdental.com. And Minuteman Press Clark. You can visit us at nj213.minuteman.com for all your branding and printing needs. Thank you.
The printing experts.
The printing experts, as you schooled me on. Thank
Well,
you.
it's true.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You still going to give me the discount?
Yeah, I'm gonna do
Okay.
that. I'll give you a really good discount.
Okay, cool.
Okay. And we are back. Yeah. And you know what it's time for? You know what it's time for? Audience.
Yo Paulie.
Yo Paulie.
Fans are going wild.
Yeah, they are going crazy with Yo Paulie in the house.
This is insane.
It's crazy. I almost couldn't get to that green room again. They had it. Actually, they had it all roped off. It was weird. They had it closed.
Yeah. All right. Silence, everybody.
Yeah, silence.
Silence.
When Dr. Banks speaks, you listen.
Except when I have my hands in their mouth.
So, we talked about this last time, and it's really nice what Paul does for, people out in the community. And from time to time, they lean on Paulie for advice. So we talked it over, and like last week's show, we decided to help these poor folks who depend on Yo Paulie for advice, but they can't get over to the Roosevelt Mall, where
Galaxy.
the Galaxy, where he's handing out advice for
Bring your quarters.
where he gives advice for rolls of quarters so he can play pinball at Galaga. It's Galaga, right? You like that one?
Galaga,
Yeah. Do you ever play like Space Invaders or anything?
Space Invaders,
Okay.
Time Pilot.
You're like some incredible like tarot card reading guy.
By
over
day
there.
I was
Yeah.
a very good student at Northeast High School.
Yeah.
By night I was a degenerate at the Galaxy.
At the Galaxy playing pinball in Galaga. So, we have the other central facility for gathering advice, and that's over at the corners of Cotman and Bustleton, right by the Galaxy pinball place over there. And so, but you don't need to go over to the Roosevelt Mall.
You got me right here. You got me right here.
He's going to give
You got
free
me
advice
right here.
So we're going to do it.
Wait, did you say? Wait. Did you say free?
Yeah, free. Yeah,
Okay.
you're going to give away complimentary advice.
I guess I got to look at my contract again.
Yeah, you might want to look at that, and you might want to get more things put in there for that green room.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, you might. More backwards hats and stuff. You could ask for that.
I'll just take fancy soap.
So no rolls of quarters are necessary for this advice this evening. It's going out complimentary of Yo Paulie. Okay, so let's get into the first advice thing here. Yo Paulie, I run a restaurant in the northern Jersey area, so everyone is always saying to me, they say, you need to run your business based on the comps, right? So I'm like, okay, that sounds reasonable. So, when people dine at my establishment, what I give some of them away for free. Usually the larger ticket items and the bigger players. You know what I mean, Paulie, with the bigger players here in Northern Jersey. You know what I mean?
I got you.
So I comp them the meal, but I don't get it, Paulie. I don't know why comping a meal is going to help my business, but it seems like I'm losing money, not gaining business, and I'm really not sure what to do, Paulie. What do you think they mean by basing it on the comps? I'm dazed and confused in the Garden State.
Well, dazed and confused for so long is not true.
Ooh. True.
Comps are sales, comparative sales from year to year.
Oh.
Not a free meal.
Oh.
Dude, if you had a brain cell, it'd be lonely.
Oh. What?
You're losing money, and you and common sense are inversely proportional. You really, really, Jim, I think we need to dine at his place, man.
Yeah, we need. Yeah, you shouldn't be giving away. Dazed and confused, Mr. Dazed and confused.
No wonder he's dazed and confused.
You should not be giving away free meals, especially big ticket items.
Soon he's going to be dazed and confused and out of business.
And out of business. He's going to be dazed and confused on the street.
Yeah, well, maybe he doesn't know as much about his business as I think he does.
You are so unbelievable. Not only are you a dentist, but you are a businessman, and you explained this to our randomies. Now they know what a comp is. Wow.
And I learned about it yesterday.
And no, actually this morning.
This morning.
This morning. We talked about it.
I ain't as dumb as I look.
I had to explain to Paulie what it was.
I had no idea. But I provided the information that you needed. So that is the bottom line. We did the research.
Great advice, Paulie. So let's move on to the next one. Paulie, I've always loved cooking and design. So when I told my best friend about my dream stove, she must have known I really had a special place in my heart for it. Imagine to my chagrin when I found out that she bought my dream stove for her own home before I had enough money to buy one for my home. Needless to say, Paulie, I felt incredibly betrayed. I've basically been giving her the silent treatment for the better part of a year. And to make matters worse, she acts like she has no idea why I'm so mad at her. My anger and hurt have gotten so bad that our friends have called a meeting, like one of those sit downs. I don't want to hear anything from her unless it's an apology. What should I do? Signed, bitching about my kitchen.
You know, bitchin', I thought about this for a long
It's
time.
Mrs. Bitchin.
Mrs. Bitchin'?
Mrs. Bitchin.
Well, the way she is, she may be missed soon.
That's right.
Who knows? But seriously, Karen, sorry, I mean that. Seriously, bitchin', that's appalling. I cannot believe for 1 minute you told them what you're doing and they went and stole your idea.
It's
The
unbelievable.
heresy of that.
Yeah, that's not really nice.
It's
We agree with you, Bitchin.
it's
Mrs.
just
I'm sorry, Mrs. Bitchin.
I'm thinking, putting things together. I'm thinking that I smell legal action here.
Yeah, and we have an attorney in the room, so we can talk to Michael about that.
We can.
He might be able to help Mrs. Bitchin.
Maybe she could talk to this woman's husband and reason out with them.
That's good advice. I like that.
Maybe the husbands get together, have a few beers, and discuss it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Guys like that.
It's the best I got, bitchin'.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Mrs. Bitchin' is sorry, the best I got for that one.
Yeah, okay.
And wait, one more thing.
That was still good advice.
Yeah, but why are you worrying about that?
Yeah, you have more things to do in your life than worrying about some stove.
I'm worrying about the Phillies re-signing the whole coaching staff.
Is that what you're worried about?
I'm worried about more than that, yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're going to move on to our final Yo Paulie advice tonight. Yo Paulie, my wife and I got into a little bit of a lover's quarrel this week regarding, of all things, toilet paper. So here's the 411, Paulie. We have like 2.5 baths in our house, so my wife and I each have our own bathroom to get ready. Being nice, Paulie. I noticed the TP roll was sporting some cardboard, Paulie. So no good deed goes unpunished here, Paulie. So, I nicely changed the TP roll.
Is that a drunken Staten Island accent?
No, it's supposed to be my Andy Kaufman impression. In my wife's bathroom, I changed the TP roll. So she don't have to get caught with, like her pants down, so to speak. So about an hour later, my wife says, thanks, dear, for changing my bathroom tissue.
Damn, my ears are hurting.
Thank you for changing my bathroom tissue. But the end should hang to roll under, not over. And we started a debate about this, Paulie, back and forth. I think it should hang to roll over. She thinks it should roll under. Over, under. We went back and forth. What do I do? What's the answer, Paulie? Signed, Bob, the TP roll over challenge guy. Bob, is that your name or is that what you do?
Well, Bob,
Hey, Bob.
I just checked my my betting app and it's over under 2 rolls.
It's over under 2 rolls.
But that doesn't mean anything.
What does that mean?
This is a very easy. This is easy.
I don't understand that.
Easy question to answer.
Do they actually have that out on like the betting sites?
They do.
Like how you should hang your toilet paper?
They do.
Really?
Yeah.
What are the odds-on favorite?
I don't know. I got
You
to look
don't
it up.
know. Okay.
So
What's
this
the
is
over-under
easy,
you said?
2 rolls.
Oh, 2 rolls.
2
Okay.
rolls.
Okay, got it.
So it's easy. It's over.
I agree. It's over.
With
And
here's
this
the
segment's
thing.
over.
Here's the thing. with over, so you got to think about this. Like, if you think some kinesiology, if you pull it from under versus over,
Wow.
yeah, you've
Pulling out those doctor terms.
you have more chance. If it's under, you have more chance of developing carpal
tunnel, TP head.
You have more chance of developing carpal tunnel.
I
by
actually
pulling
know
under.
a good chiropractor in my BNI group they can go to though.
And also,
he probably cures TP head.
and also taking the toilet paper from the over.
Yeah.
It's the time from taking the toilet paper over versus under. You're saving. Sorry. You're saving 0.3 seconds.
Oh, that's big.
So you're saving
You know,
time for the origin to the destination. You know
Yeah,
how important that can
that's really important.
be. A real crappy job, man.
It's just, that is such unbelievable advice, Paul. I can't believe that answer.
I can't believe I wrote that.
I can't believe I'm sitting here and I'm starting to cry. I'm laughing so hard. I can't believe I didn't need a slide rule for this answer. Finally, I understood it.
But I think, honestly, over and under, that's important.
Yeah,
But I'll tell you something.
I would say I would go with
You
that.
got but
Yeah.
when since we're on the topic,
And I
of
googled it, and they say the toilet paper companies say it's over.
But since you're on the topic of toilet paper, there is such a different. I'll buy generic anything. I am not buying generic 80 grit toilet paper.
You don't get like sandpaper kind?
I do not.
Okay. All right.
I do not.
Yeah. Well, it's over, and so is this segment, so thank you. And we're back, and we're here with attorney Michael Kaplonski. Yay! And we're going to talk about Thomas Edison. And Michael is a Thomas Edison aficionado. He is very well versed in everything Edison, so pretty cool stuff. So I'm just going to give a little bit of a background on Thomas Edison, and then we're going to get into the conversation. So believe it or not, Thomas Edison had over 1,093 patents in the U.S., holding the record for the most patents ever granted to one person. He was mostly self-taught and read extensively to educate himself after only a few months of formal schooling. So
I never knew that.
So you asked
Never
earlier
knew
if he
that.
was a doctor. I guess he wasn't, unless he was just a doctor of whatever. Like,
Could have been an
like when
honorary
you go,
doctorate or
you
something,
go
but I
to
guess
the
not.
graduation and they give you that fake doctor stuff.
Yeah,
like you're a real doctor.
I'm a real doctor.
You're a real doctor. He's a real attorney. I'm a real idiot. So anyway.
Truer words have not been spoken.
Yeah, American idiot, to say the least. He's known as the Wizard of Menlo Park, which I did know that. He developed many inventions at his lab in New Jersey. And Edison's hearing impairment led him to say he could concentrate better without distraction. He founded 14 companies. Wow, that is unbelievable. I didn't know it was that many companies, but I did know like General Electric, one of the largest publicly traded firms in the world. And we're here in West Orange, New Jersey, where Thomas Edison is from. So that's why we're talking about it. And with that, we're going to have a conversation now with Michael. Michael, what would you like to inform the Ram Dummies about out in Randummy Land?
They like to know everything.
They have a lot of burning questions. We have
we have average IQ of like 40.
Hopefully they're not
Really
out in the
make
streets
sure.
like turning over cars and burning things and stuff like that. They're just burning questions. That's all.
There's so much that you can talk about when it comes to Edison, and it's not all high science, high tech stuff. Edison was really probably most unknown for his development of organized research. Right? Everybody's familiar with all of the products of his research, right? The phonograph and the improvements to the light bulb and the mimeograph and the motion picture work that he did right here in West Orange. The fluoroscope, which
What's
is
a fluoroscope?
the fluoroscope was the precursor to modern X-rays.
Oh, really? Oh, I did not know
basically-
that. Did you know that?
I did. I just wanted to see if you
Oh.
asked that question.
Yeah, okay.
It basically
Being a
worked.
doctor, you know that?
Oh,
You know that?
He looks like
You
he
know what a
knows.
fluoroscope is?
Yeah, it was a precursor to the X-rays.
What about a telescope? Do you know what that is?
I do know what a telescope is.
Do you know how to use dial soap?
No, I do not. I know how to use sundial soap.
Okay.
So
I was just asking. I like dial soap, by the way. I brought my own to the hotel.
No
are you
Irish
glad
Spring
you
for-
used dial?
No,
Yes, I am.
no
Yeah.
Irish Spring for you.
No, dial soap.
The Irish
Oh, by the
Spring.
way, my room is lovely, Casey. Thank you. This is beautiful
How long are
here.
you staying here?
Overnight.
Wait. You got a room?
Yeah.
Oh man, I got to talk to my agent.
Yeah, I got it with that green room, too. But they seem to put a lock on the door over there now.
You need a better contract.
I'm serious.
Yeah,
I need
you
a better
should
agent.
talk to an attorney.
I should.
He's not an attorney, but he plays one on TV.
That's what I say about being a doctor. I play one on TV.
Anyway, sorry, Ted.
So the biggest thing that I think Edison was responsible for that most people don't know was the concept of organized research.
Okay.
So many inventors up to that point worked on their own, and Edison's organization was really the first invention factory, in that there were a bunch of people who all worked together to innovate and research and experiment with different parts of the process and different parts of the things that they were working on. The number of inventions that Edison created is huge, but ultimately it was that structure, that organized research enterprise that really led to so much success. The only real major exception was the phonograph. That was Edison's baby, and he really worked on that.
Oh, really? That was
primarily
like
by himself.
even like the incandescent light bulb wasn't like his big thing.
They were all great inventions, but in terms of his own sort of focused individual effort, the phonograph was definitely a pet project and something that he worked on himself. Right? Things like the light bulb, which Edison perfected, didn't invent, but
Is a light bulb going off for you, Paulie, with all this?
It is.
Okay, good.
the amount of experiments that went on were huge, and so they tried many different materials to make the filament out of. And so everybody had samples of different things, and there were a bunch of people in his lab that were working on different aspects of that project. They ultimately settled on the carbonized bamboo, which actually opened some of the first real grand-scale trade with Japan. That bamboo
really?
came from
Oh, that's pretty cool.
a place called Yawata City.
The what?
Yawata City.
Yawata? What?
Yeah.
I never heard of it.
Yawata?
No, Yawata. Walla Walla.
That's in Washington.
Oh, that's in Washington.
You want to look it up in the dictionary.
I think I'm going to have to look it up in the dictionary. Hey, do you know what Thomas Edison would be doing today if he were alive?
What?
Scratching at the top of his coffin.
I think if Thomas Edison was alive today, he would be like Elon Musk.
He'd be like Elon Musk.
I think so.
I think you're right.
There's someone offered to buy me a coffin.
Yeah. Oh, God, here comes another
I think
bad
you have
dad
problems.
joke. Yeah, they offered you. Oh, yeah, I know. I know the answer.
What's the answer?
The answer is that's the last thing I'll ever need. Wow. Look at Michael, man.
Wow.
That one makes
We
my
are
brain hurt.
subjecting him to really bad dad jokes. Do you think Thomas Edison would get one of those spaceships and go to the moon like Elon Musk?
I don't know if he would get in and do it, but I do know that Edison was very much the same kind of visionary, very brash, very forward kind of visionary, and he was an absolute master of guerrilla tactics in terms of public relations and marketing in his
Oh, really?
day.
I would like to know that.
So when Edison's guys made the prototype for the phonograph, right? They actually assembled the prototype that he was going to use, and the night before he made the first official recording, they did a test recording just to make sure it would work, and they brought him the prototype, and the next day he recorded on a tin foil that the impressions of the.
I have some tin foil. We could try this.
No, you have aluminum foil, which is
aluminum
different.
foil.
At that time, aluminum was one of the most scarce and expensive metals in the world.
Darn, I thought we could try an experiment, Paulie.
Yeah.
The tinned sheets of lead were really soft and really malleable, and so when you would speak into the diaphragm of the microphone, the vibrations would actually press into the tin and create an impression very similar to the grooves in a record.
I remember in the movie Edison the Man, I think it was Mary Had a Little Lamb.
So the next day, on December 6th, he made the first official recording, and once it was successful, he had this really great idea to create a pre-recorded message introducing the phonograph, and he recorded it on a tin sheet, took it to New York, into the office of a big newspaper periodical at the time, and set the phonograph on the editor's desk, put the cylinder in, pushed play, and the phonograph introduced itself, asked the guy how he was doing, said that the phonograph was doing fine, and bid him a good day. And the guy was so blown away. This was the first time that anybody outside of Edison's people had actually heard a sound recording.
Wow.
And the impact of that probably today would be something as profound as if we were sitting here and somebody walked in and said, I could teleport you to Seattle right now. It was that much a leap forward in
Oh, wow.
technology
Yes.
because there
And
was
just-
no...
And just think about thinking about that, the evolution of what we have today. It's crazy. I mean, you look at what he started and the advancements with everything, but it's pretty impressive that someone has that kind of mind to.
Absolutely. And to think that you could do that. And the evolution of how Edison became interested in pursuing the phonograph is a little bit wandering. He had been working on something called the carbon button transmitter, which was a type of microphone that he was developing to use with telephones. Right? Alexander Graham Bell had created this telephone system, and the microphone that it used was really not great. And so Edison was working in the U.S., and there were a couple of people working in Europe on improving this microphone, and they all more or less came up with the same type of microphone called the carbon button transmitter around the same time. And so there were some feuds over some patents and whatnot, but the mechanism that microphone utilized is what gave Edison the idea that as that diaphragm is vibrating, that a needle on there could actually cut into a material and create a recording. And that is what set him down that road.
Something that's cool that we found out, I found out during this, all the research, the extensive research that our team does, and it pertains to my business, the mimeograph, an early duplicating machine for making copies like we do in the shop, Paulie.
Is the mimeograph the ones where, like, when you would a test, people would
Yeah,
smell
like,
the test?
You would smell the test
Yeah.
afterward. It was like that blue dye
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. And the other thing that I was wondering about, going back to Elon Musk, how come he doesn't call Chanel 5 and have his own fragrance? Elon Musk, and they could do one of those weird commercials where jets fly over and pools. And Elon Musk.
And this
Elon
kind of
Musk.
this kind of speaking of thinking about this Edison thing,
You
I
don't like my
remember
idea?
he's probably on it. When I was
I always like your ideas.
it's a good idea.
Okay,
I'm just saying he's probably on it. Maybe mental
You could
telepathy.
say wow, that was a really good idea.
That was a good idea.
Thank you.
Um,
I
Smells
gotta
lovely.
say it.
I remember in junior high school, we had the precursor to the computer. Now I started learning on the teletype. I learned BASIC. I learned Fortran. I
They
learned all
had
those
that in the
things.
1800s.
Yeah, real funny.
What you hanging out with?
But the teletype, I learned how to, and it was just,
Oh.
then it was state of the art.
I thought you were using Morse code in grade school.
I still use Morse
Oh,
code.
you do?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
One of Edison's jobs as a kid was as a telegrapher on the railroad. That's
Yeah.
actually what got him interested in a couple of his other pursuits that he's sort of unrecognized for. Wireless radio. Edison had some of the first patents. He gave Marconi 2 of his patents that Marconi needed to actually be able to make the radio
Oh,
transmitter.
With-
Marconi project.
With Mertz.
What's that?
Was it Mertz and Marconi together?
At one point, yeah.
At one point it was.
Ah.
What, did they not have a good contract?
So I did know that he worked for the train company because in college I wrote a paper on Edison and I had to give a speech. And in my speech I said he dashed and darted his way across the U.S. I used that little pun.
Do you still have that paper? Do you have any of your papers from
I
college?
don't have any of my papers from college because
I'm sure it was great,
nobody
though.
would want them.
We did one that was in 8th grade. Did something called My Imaginary Trip. Remember when they used to have the travel agency? You go in and you get brochures from all the places. Well, we had to pretend that we had to cut out pictures of all, talk about our trip across Europe.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, I still have that.
What part of Europe did you pretend to go to?
All over.
Do you still do that today, pretend to go places?
I just pretend to go to sleep.
You just you pretend to have fun.
Honey, time to make the bed.
You pretend to like me.
Oh, I love you,
Oh,
Jim.
yeah. Me too.
But did he invent the light bulb, or did he improve upon the light bulb?
I would say improve upon. He perfected it. He made it something that was mass producible and that would last long enough to make it commercially viable. And finding that carbonized bamboo that was used for the filament was the key to that. The concept of the light bulb existed already, but no one had been able to make it something that was long enough lasting that it was a commercially viable project.
Did he invent the lightning?
The lightning bug, did you say?
That came later when they miniaturized everything.
I mean, those things never run out of charge.
Yeah, they don't.
And
And something cool, like now living in Union County, I never realized, I guess, is it Roselle Park that was the first one lit in the U.S.?
Roselle.
Roselle. I get it mixed up whether it's Roselle or Roselle Park. So that was the first town in the United States to have the incandescent light bulb. It's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I did not know that. I did know that.
Do you
Well, I
remember-
didn't know that until I moved here. But
Remember-
see, you learn things when you move, Paulie.
Well, I remember when I was a kid taking
Sometimes you school yourself.
I do. I'd taken the Broad Street subway. All those subway
Oh
stations.
my God, we're back
they-
to the septic
they were-
conversation. Did you get a job there yet?
They were all incandescent light bulbs.
Oh my God.
They started.
No, they were candles back then.
They were incandescent
when you were riding septic.
Yeah, I am a SEPTA aficionado.
You are a septic. I mean, they should, like, seriously, they should sponsor the show because of how much you talk about their roots or routes or whatever.
Well, roots I talk about in dentistry.
Oh, yeah, right.
Routes I talk about.
You are some, like,
Terrible.
you are some septic.
let me first to tell everybody here. I'm
Did
just
Thomas Edison invent septa?
He must have.
Yeah, he must have.
I'm just
We're
not
talking
right.
about.
I'm just not right. I'm sorry.
You are not.
I'm not right. I'm left-handed.
Are you?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I don't. You know, we don't really see each other right, so how would we know?
Well, I don't know how to write.
Michael, anything else you want to enlighten us about? Thomas and that movie, The Edison the Man, is very.
I never
good.
saw that.
Oh my God, Spencer Tracy, yeah, excellent film.
The thing that I think really is most interesting to me is that Edison's ideas will never be old. Innovation and genius never get stale, and you can look back at so many of the things that Edison did. And I was lucky enough in the late 1990s and early 2000s to work for the township of Edison, and I became really good friends with a guy named Jack Stanley, who worked here for the Park Service in West Orange, and then was the director of the Menlo Park Museum in Edison. And one of the things that he I learned a lot from him about Edison and about innovation and about how successful Edison was in so many things. But one of the things that's really stuck with me is how far the reach was, right? Edison was doing his work at the same time that Custer was at the Little Bighorn.
Really? Yeah, you don't think about
And yet,
that. That's
but
true.
contextually, that's what's going on.
76
yeah.
or whatever, right?
That's what's going on in history.
That's
in
amazing.
Well,
You don't think about that.
That's a great point because when you think about that, you
and
the
Paul
date-
was in grade school.
I was in grade school. But you think about that you take a year and then you think about what else was going on at that time.
Yeah, and these inventions, obviously, there's a lot of evolution that's gone on from between then and now, 150-ish years. But when you put it into that context, the Civil War had been over for 10 years. Edison's lawyer was a Civil War general.
That's really amazing. You don't put it in that context. You just think,
Absolutely. And
he did this in a vacuum, but he didn't invent the vacuum.
I would tell you if there are any young people that are watching this, it would behoove you to learn about a little bit about this. About,
you tell him, Paulie.
Thomas
You
Edison,
tell him.
about Alexander Graham Bell, about Henry Ford, because all of the stuff that you take as a convenience now was due to their hard work, and it's really, really.
The other one is Ben
fascinating.
Franklin was a big inventor too. Giving Philly a shout out.
Yeah.
Absolutely, big innovator.
Yeah, love Ben Franklin, and he helped Edison with that electricity thing. I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they knew each other.
They were flying kites together.
They were like, it's the.
Is that where the Go Fly Kite
Yeah,
came from?
yeah, they were probably hanging out with Bruckner too at the
There you
making
go.
music.
Yeah, Ben Franklin was Boston born, Philly bred.
Yeah, that's right. He was traded like Babe Ruth.
That's right.
He got traded from Boston to Philly. Anywho, well, we would like to thank Michael Kaplonski for being on our show.
Yeah, thank you, Michael.
And Paulie, did you see that hat there? You're going to give that over to our good friend Michael Kaplonski
Michael,
as a thank you for
you are
being
now an
you are
official
an
Rin Dummy.
Rin Dummy. We dub the randominess. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's a beautiful hat.
That is
She's a
That is
beaut,
some-
Clark.
that is
I
stylish.
wonder who did the embroidery on that hat. Oh, it was Minuteman Preston Clark.
Now, a word from our sponsor.
Yeah, now no, thanks, Michael. That was
Thanks,
awesome.
Mike.
Thanks so
Yeah,
much.
thank
for
you.
being
Thank you.
on the show.
Thanks
We
very
really
much, guys.
appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. Hey, we are here with
Everybody,
our good
come on,
friend.
let's go. Let's go.
Woohoo! We are here with our good friend Cassey Del Monico. Woohoo! Hi, Cassey.
Hello.
Hey,
How are
Case.
you?
I'm well.
All good?
Good in the hood.
Good enough.
Good enough.
Okay. I'm going to give a little bit of background on our friend Cassey and her hotel that she runs, I think. I think she runs this whole place, I'm sure. And the Cambria Hotel in West Orange, a beautiful facility.
It is.
Might I add. And I am staying way up in like the penthouse of this place. It's unbelievable.
You
know, I
got the
stopped-
penthouse. I got the outhouse.
Yeah, you got the outhouse.
You could stay.
And I stopped by the green room and I took stuff to my room. Wow, it's like unbelievable. They keep replenishing that thing over there. But every time I go by the desk, they say, "What room are you in again?"
They give you any edibles in the green
And I'm
room?
like, "That's what does that have to do with the green room?" So I tell them my room number, and then they seem okay, and they're like, "Yeah, okay, you can take it to your room."
No edibles in the green
What's
room?
up? No, none of that stuff. No, sorry.
I don't want to know about it.
No.
No, I'm joking because there's that place called the Green Room.
Ah, I did not know that. Oh, you schooled me again. No, there's none of that. No.
Okay.
No, it's like, like Reese's peanut butter cups,
You-
and Diet
York,
Cokes,
York peppermint patties?
peppermint patties, probably. Yeah.
Oh,
I think they have some caviar for us.
caviar and
It's
pheasant for dinner.
unbelievable, like
Just
the
for the
stuff, the
penthouse
spread.
guests.
There was some shrimp cocktail earlier you missed.
Well, you had
Paulie.
Reese's?
It was unbelievable.
Reese's?
On the side of a
Reese's
shrimp
peanut
cocktail.
butter cups, yeah,
Yeah.
I like those. Anyway, let's learn a little bit about our friend Cassey. Okay, Cassey Del Monico serves as the sales director at Cambria Hotel here in West Orange, the Wild West Orange. She brings years of experience in hospitality sales and management, focusing on forging partnerships, since she does. She's very good at partnerships. I know Cassey for a number of years, and she's very good at that.
Thanks.
And creating tailored experiences for clients. She's good at that too, for sure. Absolutely. She has an innovative approach. I would agree. She's very innovative. She ensures Cambria Hotel West Orange stands out in a very competitive market, might I add, by fostering client relationships and driving growth. Woohoo!
Name of the game.
And a little bit about the Cambria West Orange, and you can visit them at CambriaWestOrange.com on the web, that www stuff. Cambria Hotel West Orange offers a modern, upscale experience with amenities suited for both businesses and leisure. Is it leisure or leisure travelers?
However, if you're from New Orleans, you
Yeah.
can say it.
How do they say it?
I'm pretty sure it's just leisure, guys.
Just leisure,
Leisure.
travelers. Okay. Well, they do, because they have that whole green room. It's really cool. You got to
Green
stop
room.
by there.
Oh, yeah, I'll check it out.
After the show, you and I will go check it
Some
out. and
caviar.
We'll grab a bunch of stuff. We'll go by the front desk and say, yeah.
Do they have toiletry items?
They do have toiletries. Do you need some? Like,
Floss?
I think they have some dental and mental floss.
Nice.
Yes. It's located close to New York City. In fact, we were talking about that today. That's why it does so well in this area with traveling bands, right?
Yeah.
The organizations,
Lots of groups.
with the children, the marching band thingy. See that thingy thing came back up, and the hotel features stylish rooms. I can agree with that. They're beautiful. They have beautiful photos of West Orange and the area. Really incredible. There are flexible meeting spaces because we met in a flexible space when Cassey and I talked about doing this, basically. They have beautiful meeting rooms, and that's what we did. And it's a convenient and comfortable experience, and I agree with that. It emphasizes service and welcoming environment, and yeah, like when I walked into the hotel today, Cassey greeted me, and we had a nice conversation. It's themed around, and the reason that we talked about Thomas Edison, it's themed around Thomas Edison. So there's a bunch of light bulbs around here, decorative ones, as well as ones that are used functionally as well. And I think I saw different light bulbs going off in Paul's head today, too, for the first time in a long time.
A couple.
A couple.
Incandescent.
Incandescent. So, Cassey. Why don't you tell us about your background and what brought you here to the Cambria Hotel in West Orange? Our grand dummies want to know.
Sure, I'm happy to. I'll keep it
They
brief.
are burning.
Well, I've been in sales for my entire career, and
That's
just
how I know
as
you. Yes.
luck would have it, a very dear friend of mine is director of sales at our sister property in Secaucus. And
Is it
this-
Secaucus or
It's
Secaucus?
Secaucus.
Secaucus.
Yes, you would ask
That
all
how
the
they say it in
residents
New
there.
Orleans?
they'd say
No, it's only if
Secaucus.
there's a city called Caucus. You could say, "Can you see Caucus?"
Oh, yeah.
But it's actually
that's true.
Secaucus.
And I can see caucus. Is that like when they vote and they have a caucus?
Yes,
Oh, cool.
that's exactly it.
Is that what you do? You go into Secaucus and caucus and have a vote?
You know me. I don't know where I'm going.
That's where you go.
Anyway, go ahead.
But they had asked her, the management company had asked her if she knew anyone that would be a good salesperson for this location. And she thought of me. And I wasn't looking for
I would have
to
thought
move.
of you.
Yeah, well, thanks.
I would have.
But as a courtesy to my friend, as a gentleman's agreement, I guess, I said yes to the interview. Wasn't really looking to move on from what I was doing. And obviously, you know, the story goes, it went well. I enjoyed all of the department heads that I was able to interview before I started working for these guys, and the offer was there. So I moved on, and working in hospitality is definitely the wheelhouse for someone with my personality. It's a revolving door of different types of people all day long.
So
Yeah,
what?
I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
So what-
Absolutely.
I
yes.
enjoy it.
What unique qualities do you believe Cambria West Orange brings to the hospitality market in this area?
What stands out for me with this hotel is that it's a choice property, and it's the only Cambria in the
Oh,
state
it's
of
a
New Jersey.
choice property.
It's a choice property.
Did you know that?
It's their luxury.
I made the choice
brand.
to stay
You
here.
did. You made a great choice.
That was a
I hope
great
you enjoy your
choice.
room.
Thank you.
And they made the choice not to give me a room.
Yeah.
You
That was
could have
that was
called
an
me.
even better choice.
You could stay.
I'm joking.
And they didn't let you into that green room at all.
No.
No.
But Cambria is the only Cambria in the state of New Jersey, so I enjoy it because I get to focus a lot on West Orange.
And
In
how
the
many
community here.
locations are in New Jersey?
There's only one. This is the only Cambria. There's other
Ooh.
choice hotels.
We are
but
exclusive, Paulie.
pretty
We are.
much.
We are
Pretty much.
exclusively, and we made a very good choice.
But I'm cha,
Ba-da-ba.
and they're full of awesome dad jokes.
And this is a question I would like to ask my friend Cassey over here because I know she's very good at this.
Hit me.
And that is, community involvement and working with local businesses. This is how Cassey and I
Yeah.
know each other through the various chambers of commerce that
Right.
we know each other
So what happened when I first started working here in West Orange and at this hotel is I realized that the competition for this hotel is pretty grand, and which is fine. I enjoy the competition. But because it's the only Cambria in the state of New Jersey happens to be in West Orange, my focus was on the community. So I immediately introduced myself to the mayor and the political figures and just started branching myself out. I'm now a member of the Elks community, so they want me to be a board member for the West
So
Orange.
you're an elk?
Yeah.
I'm an elk too.
Yeah, yeah.
What elk do
So-
you belong to?
Dang, you're cool. You're cool like me.
I am really cool.
The West Orange Elks.
Should I put my sunglasses
You
back
should,
on?
man. But I started doing that, just community outreach and just getting as involved as I
Which elk
possibly
do you
can.
belong to?
West Orange.
Oh, West Orange. Sorry, I
Yeah.
missed it because I was busy being cool. It takes my hearing away. I think people say like coolness. I'm in Cranford. I am a Cranford elk. Yes.
Yes.
2006 is our lodge number. Have you gone to other lodges, by the way?
I have the Cranford one.
The
actually.
Cranford one you've been
Yes,
to?
I have
Oh,
been to the
nice.
Cranford one.
You
Yeah.
should stop by and see me and my
Well,
friends.
now that I can go to any one of them,
You
absolutely.
can. And actually, the one that's really cool is the Summit one. Is really nice.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to.
So
yeah.
did Susan McCartney make you feel welcome?
She sure did. She has some of her political events here with us at the hotel. Our banquet space is about 80 people or less.
Awesome.
So those medium-sized meetings that they have, they think of me, they call me, and I enjoy
So when did you start here? I'm sorry, I forgot.
No, that's okay. They scooped me up in November 23rd. Will make a year, so I'm still kind of a baby to here.
November 23rd.
Yeah.
Yay.
A year with
Our anniversary is November 24th.
And Kennedy was shot November 22nd.
Well, there we go. Good job, November.
Sorry about that.
Piece
But
of trivia. There we go.
November 23rd. Okay. Wow, it's almost a year.
Almost a
Wow.
year. Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah,
I'm
because
happy
Barb and
to,
I met you here. We had a nice chat one day about promotional products, and it was fun.
Babs.
That was
Babs.
back in the spring.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was when we first came to see this lovely
I'm
establishment.
proud of it. It's themed after the Thomas Edison
It
whole
is.
idea. It's really, really cool. All the Cambrys theme their hotels after the city they're built in.
It is
That's
really
why ours
beautiful,
is-
and that's what attracted me to it was the light bulbs everywhere because I like light bulbs.
is there a Cambria in Washington D.C.?
There is a Cambry in Washington, D.C. Yep.
You're gonna ask her like every state.
No, just D.C.
Are you gonna
Stay
do
the
like one of
Cambrian.
those?
I spent my education.
Oh, you have
my
an education, really?
from.
You didn't go to correspondence school?
I did not. My education is in Washington D.C. My formal education. So I was just curious whether they
sure
have
do.
one. Of
Are you
course,
gonna-
I travel down there.
Maybe you
and
could
I'd like
get
to
one
know.
of those like dream boards again and pretend to go to
The
DC
vision boards?
on vacation.
Anyway,
You
do you
pretend
want-
to go away? You know, we have to get into the real burning questions of New
la la.
Orleans.
Let's
That's
do
what
it.
we. But the Cambria Hotel, you know, again, CambriaWestOrange.com.
Yeah.
Check it out if you want to hang
Come
out. It
visit
is
me.
really a beautiful. Honestly, the room is really well appraised, or whatever they say. It's beautiful,
Thanks.
and there are plenty of electric outlets. I gotta say, it's like there's no
Thomas Edison
lack
would
of
be so
electric
proud.
outlets. I plugged everything in, every
So does the
phone.
So does the Cambria
iPad.
Hotel in Detroit have cars driving?
Yeah. I plugged my
That's a
car
great
into my
question.
room.
I'll email them and ask.
I
You
drove
gotta
my
go to the
car
New
on
Orleans
the
one. I've
fourth
been to
floor.
New Orleans, Cambria. That's a good one.
What's that?
The New Orleans Cambria is
Oh,
beautiful.
the New Orleans.
It's very jazz.
So let's get into
Yeah,
Nolan.
let's
And
do it.
is it Nolans or New Orleans?
I say New Orleans.
You say New Orleans.
Please don't say New Orleans.
Okay.
I love you too much for that.
New Orleans is just not.
And I know you kind of go back and forth
I
to
do.
New Orleans, and I know you're not always here in New Jersey because I see your travels on
Social
Facebook.
media, yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm like, Paul, wow, I wish I could travel like that. And I make dream boards up and pretend to go to
You
places.
should.
It seems like you travel from like business meeting to business meeting. That's your travel.
You like
Me?
that, though.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I like the network.
He's the
Yeah,
hardest
me too.
working man in show business.
Yeah, I'm the hardest working man. I'm also the show roadie. Anyway, so the first question, the randommies burning question they want to know. You know, what do you miss about New Orleans now that you're in New Jersey? And I know you miss stuff because you love it there.
Yeah. So I miss. I'm the only one of my family members that moved out of the state of Louisiana. So,
Oh, really?
And my grandparents are
You
still
are
with
a
us.
pathfinder.
I am. I'm definitely.
And when you're
that
in New
Rolling
Orleans, do
Stone
you miss Paul and I?
every single second? Every single second.
She texts me.
I miss
I
Paul.
do.
I get a text from her.
Even when Paul's on the show, I miss him.
I send him pictures of full boys. I'm like,
I don't
"Wish
hear
you were
anything
here."
he says.
You never listen to
I
me.
never listen to you.
You just don't listen to me.
And I got a new stove, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's bitching.
I got a stream stove. I got a dream stove. It was the one you wanted.
You know.
So what do you miss about New Orleans?
I miss my family. I miss my family.
Oh, you miss your family.
Yeah, so
oh, that's a good answer.
It's neat.
I like that.
It's neat because my grandparents are still
Your family's
with
gonna
us.
love that.
And when I go down, it's like Christmas morning for me and for them, no matter what time of year it is. And I think being away from that area makes me appreciate it even more when I go down to visit. So I see it from a tourist set of eyes instead of as a local. So every little thing, like going down into the French Quarter. My family doesn't want to visit the French Quarter. That's a tourist thing to do.
Right,
but
because
I
they're
enjoy it.
used to doing that
Yeah,
all the time.
and that's fine for them.
It's like when
But
I lived
like-
in the Bay Area and to go to Fisherman's Wharf all the time.
You like,
No.
yeah.
It becomes
The
tiresome.
one thing that I wanted to ask you, because as a musician, the jazz, the clubs in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So you Were you always one that would? Did you go to a lot of different clubs and listen to jazz music and blues and all that?
Yeah, so I guess my favorite, and all of that's there, would probably be Zydeco music, which is a big mesh of all of those. Zydeco music. It's very
Oh,
nuanced.
Zydeco.
You ever heard of Buckwheat Zydeco?
Yes, I have. I didn't
Excellent.
hear. I thought it all ran together because she went into New Orleans or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. So Zydeco music's my favorite. When I go down to, my children are adults now, so when I travel with them down there, it's important that I bring them to listen to Zydeco music. Mostly, I
Okay.
love it, and they get to see me glowing inside. It's special for them. But
That's
it's also
awesome.
they sing French music while they're playing Zydeco music itself, the musicians themselves. So
I have
getting
heard
them
of
to,
Buckwheat Zydeco.
yeah, it's
But
really cool.
I'm not real familiar with that style of music.
And Creole, a lot of Creole.
Creole.
Creole music.
Did you ever meet the Neville brothers or anything?
Yeah, I actually did. Actually, one of the Neville brothers just stayed with us here. They were on tour. They were
Really?
playing at the Walmart.
Aaron?
Yeah, no, it wasn't Aaron Neville. It was one of the other brothers.
If you
I jumped
stop-
on their bus
What's
and
that?
made fun of them.
You jumped in front of a bus?
No, they were on their tour bus. I
Oh,
jumped on their
okay.
tour bus.
I'm like,
and
wait a
"You're
minute,
not going
Casey,
anywhere."
But
we
you know what's cool?
We like
I
you.
love the Neville brothers.
What's cool about the bars and the jazz bars and the blues bars in New Orleans? One thing in the French Quarter, you can take your alcohol out in a plastic cup and
This
drink
is
on the
true.
street.
I've heard that.
Can you
I
imagine
just
if they
haven't
did
been there.
that in New York?
What I would be curious to know like what food you miss when you're not there.
I like answering this question. So when I visit, my family, they really want to take me out to eat in different restaurants, and I almost offend them by saying, "Please just cook for me in your kitchen."
Oh
Like,
yeah,
so
yeah.
their home cooked food is way better than.
And like what's a
anything.
typical family meal when you're sitting down there?
Every time I go down to visit, they always do a boil for me. So it's either shrimp boil, crawfish boil. Something. It's always a big boil. Crabs. They catch their own. The only thing that they don't farm or catch themselves is shrimp, but they live off the water, so it's easy for them to do. But
Okay.
that's probably the most fun because it's the big pot, in their front yard. And, that
Oh, they do
sound
it
it's
in the front
making.
yard. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
that's
kids are
cool.
playing in the background.
Yeah.
And,
Nothing like a big bowl of jambalaya.
oh, heck yeah.
Big old
Fried
bowl.
fish, anything deep fried fish, especially the fried fish.
How about you know what? And I may be wrong because I am on occasion.
Really?
Yeah, but
I didn't think you were ever wrong.
in New Orleans. Do they deep fry turkeys?
You know what? It's funny that you just brought that up because my husband and I, we're going to go down for Thanksgiving this year, and he's never had deep fried turkey. So that's something that we do
They do
every
fried
year.
turkey.
They do deep
So
fried turkey.
bad,
yeah.
but so good.
Yeah.
It's a guilty pleasure. You can't help
Oh,
yourself.
man.
Oh, God.
I've had it like one time. Yeah.
It's
I've had-
excellent.
It was like when Seamus was younger, they were doing like a football, turkey
But
day
down
thing.
there, you think about it, they have because they have the boils, they all have those gigantic pots. It's not like you have to go out and buy anything except a lot of
Do
peanut
you know
oil
what you
to
do
fry it.
if you're going to go have a deep fried turkey? If you have to get like your physical, get your blood test before you eat that.
100%.
I would say so. I think,
100%.
and your blood pressure probably shoots up
Between
too, right?
the deep fried turkey and the copious amounts of alcohol that's consumed down there, you want to do that.
Are you a crawfish person?
100%.
Is it crawfish or crawdad?
You
What do you
know better than that, Jim. Don't make me slap you around.
I
It's
have
crawfish.
no idea. It's crawfish?
Crawfish. Yeah.
Well, what's crawdad?
It's the same thing, except the foreigners say that. If you want to be a local, you say crawfish.
Well, I'm a foreigner because I've never.
Still
I've
not
never done
allowed. We're friends,
And you got
man.
the po' boys.
Po' boys, yep. Po' boys are always.
I'm
Fried chicken
I'm learning
po' boy.
a lot.
Fried chicken.
Fried chicken
I
po'
go with
boy.
the roast beef. Roast beef po' boy is my favorite.
I'm
I,
learning a
the
lot.
food is a very big deal. If that's one thing, I think one of the questions that was kind of be prepared was
I'm getting hungry.
if there's
now.
something I could bring here would be
really.
the food. If you think about it, New Jersey's got every type of food you can possibly think of, and it's all out of control awesome, except Cajun food.
And
Like I'm looking for the good Cajun because I'm used to my family's home.
Have
cooked
you
food.
done research?
I have.
I mean,
I
there's
have.
got to be some.
Sorry,
gotta
that was,
be
that
some-
was Babs.
hey, Barb.
Bob,
hey, Barb.
I've
Barb
done
and
my
Casey.
research on it. I've tried
there's-
places. And
there's
it's
got to
just-
be a Cajun place. I mean, have you tried New York City?
That's Michael.
I'm sure it
That's
exists.
Barb.
I just haven't found that home cooking that I'm used to.
I mean, you can get great Mexican. You can great
Like
Italian.
I said, everything else you can
Yeah.
possibly think of.
Let's get into the burning question that
Oh, okay.
Paulie wants to know.
What is your favorite PG Mardi Gras moment that stands out?
PG, very good, Paul. Thank you. This
I mean, no, I mean,
attorneys are watching.
I'm not talking about at the French Quarter, getting beads thrown.
All right, I got it. I just thought it would. So
I just thought
it's not
because everything was
the
like,
Mardi Gras parades
There's
take place in New
sorry.
Orleans.
You know what? You just thought
Uh-oh,
of one
uh-oh.
because it's the only PG one you probably had.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
pretty
That's
much
what I'm
is.
saying.
The light bulb
oh, I just thought
had
of
to
one.
go
It took
off.
her 10 minutes.
They have kids parades. So during the day in the small towns that are outside of New Orleans, down in Lafourche Parish and Terrebonne Parish, like
and
outside
that's where
of
you're
Orleans
from,
Parish.
right? La
Yeah,
Pouge?
Lafourche.
That sounds
Lafourche
so
Parish.
French.
My zip code is 70345.
say
If you want to look
bonsoir?
up that little bitty town,
Uh-huh.
70345. That's hilarious.
What
But they
is
have the
it?
kids parades. That's my zip code. Where
What
I grew
was your
up.
zip code?
70345.
Oh, good, because I work for the post office.
You should really look it up because it's hilarious. To
I
see
do.
where
I
grew
deliver
up.
a lot of mail, and I'm delivering
You'd
a
be
lot
wondering, like,
tomorrow.
how the heck did you end up in Jersey?
I
with
should
that zip
basically
code?
work for the post office.
If there's one thing I can say about New Orleans, if I could just chime this in, is my favorite time to visit is Jazz Fest. So
Is when? I'm sorry.
Jazz
Jazz
Fest.
Fest.
And when does Jazz
so
Fest
Mardi
occur?
Gras is amazing. Experience it once if you need
Just
to.
missed Jazz Fest.
But Jazz Fest is by far the coolest. New Orleans is to be celebrated. It's a wonderful city, and it's a musical city, and it's a food city. But Jazz Fest, I find that everyone that goes there is not there for amateur hour. Like sometimes it can be on Mardi Gras. They're there literally for the music, and it's astonishing how much.
I would love to go.
You
I
would
mean,
love it. As a
That I
I
musician,
would
would
love
love,
it.
yeah.
Blues Fest in Chicago
Yeah.
is like the same kind of thing, and you know that's a whole topic for another day.
I do love jazz,
Yeah.
by the way, and so I would
But
love
what's
jazz.
interesting
Outstanding.
though is if you look up the musicians that played at Jazz Fest, they're not all jazz musicians.
No.
The Who played there.
The
Yeah,
Who played there?
I think
Wow.
Springsteen may have. I'm not
So-
sure.
Were they jazz musicians?
No.
No.
it's not just jazz music. I actually worked Jazz Fest. There's 13 stages across acres and acres and acres of property. So each stage has their own genre, and the stage I was working right in front of happened to be just Zydeco music. So I was in
cool.
heaven for 3 days just listening to Zydeco
And,
music
and what
behind
you
me.
were working there? Like what?
I was working there, so
What were you
my
doing?
family has a food tent that's there.
Oh, a food tent.
And
cool.
I was
what
visiting.
kind of food?
It's
Crawdad?
Indian food, actually, Native American food. So my grandparents are Native Americans, so I volunteered to
So-
work the booth with them.
What kind of food? Like
What I was in charge of was the Indian fry bread. So
Okay.
yeah, it's
Oh,
a
very
lot of fun
cool.
to be with as a little white girl looking with all the little Indians.
that's
Maybe
pretty.
be
Yeah,
careful what
it's
you
pretty
say
fun.
though.
It's a lot of fun to do that. We're like supporting the tribe.
But what you were saying about Zydeco music, that's how I feel about reggae music. Going to Jamaica, sitting on the beach and listening
Yeah,
to reggae music.
it would be like the Cajun equivalent to reggae for sure. Yeah, Zydeco was a lot of fun.
It's pretty
Yeah.
cool stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting to be from such a unique area. And when I first moved here 20 years ago, I didn't realize how unique it was until people started asking me so many questions. It's just
But
I
I
never
just-
had to describe it before.
I just think the music and the food alone.
Yeah.
yeah,
I really would love to
Yeah.
visit New Orleans.
the people are just absolute sweethearts too. You know, like maybe it's a Southern thing or whatever the case may be. They're the kindest people. So I tell everyone, all the ounce of goodness inside of me is direct derivative of New Orleans.
Now I'm thinking of learning how to make jambalaya.
Yeah. We
I
can do
would-
that. We can,
I
we
can actually
do a
teach you how
show.
to do that. You can do a show, and
We
can
could do
a
a show.
cooking
and
show.
Casey
We do a
can
cooking
show
We can do
us.
a cooking
Yeah,
show,
we
like
could do a
specific to
cooking
that
show with
area.
Casey.
I'll do jambalaya.
I have a name for it. Cooking with Casey. There you go. Boom.
Your originality just absolutely
Yeah.
blows me away.
Like cheesesteak
They're full of
delicious.
dad jokes.
Did you like cheesesteak delicious?
I did.
On the last episode.
Cooking,
Yeah.
cooking with Cajun Casey.
So when Paul and I go away somewhere, not together.
Of course not.
When we travel, we miss cheesesteaks, right?
I was just in Philly doing cheese.
Yeah,
Where,
missed
yeah.
where'd you go?
I didn't go to Gino's, and I didn't do the other one that's really
That's
famous.
good because
yeah.
those are the two tourist traps.
Yeah, I didn't do that. When we got to Philly, I literally just pulled up like some neighborhood and just looked at the reviews. I can't even remember the name of it, but it's just a little mom and pop place.
They're the
And
best.
I know we're Jersey. We like mom and pop places.
Yeah,
so I
they
went
do,
to Philly and
yeah.
I chose not to do the tourists and went there instead.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Paul's is Ishkabibbles, which I had never heard
Ishkabibbles,
of,
that's-
but it's
That's your
very
joint?
good.
All right.
And I do like Pat's. I know it's tourist.
There's so many
Yeah.
places. What we
That's
talk
it.
about, we talked about this year before. Is at some point I would like to do a kind of a cheesesteak crawl. Go down there with a bunch of people
cheesesteak crawl. That
and go to
sounds like a
different
lot of
places.
You're gonna avoid Pat's and Gino's and do the mom and pops?
Can we do
or-
a beer crawl with that?
Because they have a
Michael likes
beer
that idea.
tour in Philly. They have Philly beer tours.
Yeah.
Pat's and I know Jim really likes Pat's.
I'm sure they're wonderful.
And
They yell at you.
You know, it's just there's so many.
I love it.
That's what I love about it. They yell at you.
There's so many, but there are so many like.
Yep.
But I think if we can get like 10 cheesesteak places, and we'll go and get a bunch of people,
Oh
and
my
everyone
God.
buy a cheesesteak and then cut a piece of each one and go.
That's just,
I
it's
think
too
that-
much. I'm telling you, you can't do it.
Then we got to hit the beer tour after that.
You have to do the beer tour. I would go on the beer tour, though.
You know, one thing I did in Jersey not too long ago was a meatball tasting.
Oh, I would
So
like
because
that.
everybody knows how to make their own meatballs, and there was like 10 different people, and we all judged it. Like that was a fun one to do. The
What?
meat. Everybody loves
Oh,
meatball baths.
A lot
Come
of
on.
people call me a meatball. It's
Speaking of
unbelievable.
meatballs, I want to give a shout out to if I may mention a business restaurant.
Do it.
Absolutely.
I will tell you, Mama Dag's, which is located in West Orange. It's on Northfield Avenue, right across from the zoo, has the best meatballs.
All right.
Just
I did not know that.
absolutely fantastic.
I get paid in meatballs like on the Wedding Singer. But anyway,
But
we
anyway,
digress. We digress.
I gotta try it now. Thanks
We
for
have
that.
to be respectful of Casey's time because she's got a big establishment to run here. It's got a lot of floors and a lot of rooms going on.
Oh, did I mention
And
they
that
gave
green
you a room and they didn't give me one?
Yeah.
How many
they
times?
did. And they need to replenish that green room for me later.
More
So they'll wait
caviar.
till I leave.
They're working on it. That's
I'll leave.
Some dry one over there. that-
Wait till Banks leaves and
Yeah.
we'll replenish it.
Anyway, we'd like to thank Casey.
Yeah, thank
for
you,
being
Casey.
a
You're welcome.
Very special
Thank you,
guest
guys.
on the
Thank you.
podcast.
Thank you, much appreciated.
And don't leave just yet because
Okay.
you get a special gift.
I didn't have a speech prepared.
I'd
I'd like to thank the Academy.
And I always forget
You
the
thank
name
me.
of it, but if you look underneath, you'll see the type of candle. It's Lucky Clover. How could I forget that? Because I'm Irish. And thank you for being
Beautiful.
on our
I
show.
appreciate
Well, why
got
don't
a
you get me a
special-
lox and bagel candle?
Yeah, we could get you lots. That would be very smelly. That wouldn't smell very good.
It wouldn't.
I don't think.
Put it in
Lox
your
and
room.
Lox and bagel candle. Wow.
Or a whitefish
like
candle.
that?
Or whitefish candle.
Whitefish candle. Wow. What are you trying to drive people out of your house? Like,
Spread it on his bagel.
yeah, wow. Anyway, thanks, Casey.
You're welcome, guys.
Always. Hey, and we'd really like to thank Cassey Del Monico
Thank you,
and
Casey.
the Cambria Hotel for hosting us this evening. Awesome location here in West Orange. Check them out at CambriaWestOrange.com. That's CambriaWestOrange.com. We'd also like to thank our sponsors, the New Jersey Festival Orchestra. Join them for their 2024-2025 season. To get tickets to their upcoming concerts, just visit njfestivalorchestra.org. That's njfestivalorchestra.org. Tickets are on sale now. And our good friend over here, Dr. Paul Banks and Florham Park Dental. Excellent.
Excellent.
Excellent. Do you guys do that in the morning? Like do Ted and whatever, Bill's?
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Yeah, do you go, excellent?
No, we don't. We've matured.
And do you call people Socrates?
We've matured.
Yeah, we've matured. Yeah. With my partner here, Dr. Paul Banks, and you want to visit them at FlorhamParkDental.com. FlorhamParkDental.com for more information. Excellent! Me.
Notice how I'm holding back my laughter?
You are, yeah, you like a sphinx. Like, find out anything amusing at all. Anyway, and Minuteman Press of Clark. Me, Jim Mooney, my son Seamus, and now Bridget Hanlon too has joined the team recently. And we are your branding and printing partners. Visit us at nj213.minuteman.com. That's nj213minuteman.com for all your branding and printing needs, just like here, the show set, the swag, the embroidery, the screen printing, the cool branded microphones, etc. All Minuteman Press.
What would
of
we do
Clark.
without you and Minuteman?
I don't know. I'm kind of like the Thomas Edison of promotional products. You know, I have like millions of them, you know.
I was thinking you were the Charmin of something.
Yeah, I think I am the over, not the under. That one. Also, remember, check out Mike Marino's upcoming tour schedule at MikeMarino.net. That's MikeMarino.net for ticket information, showtimes. Again, really funny stuff that Mike does. He's really funny.
Was he funny?
He's funny. You're funny too. No, I'm funny. No, that's like one bourbon, one scotch.
Yeah.
We were all lovey-dovey, and I'm lovey-dovey. Are you lovey-dovey? Anyway, let's thank our fantastic Random S team, producer Ange Mooney, production and editing Bridget Hanlon, who's also now at Minuteman Press, and executive producer Seamus Mooney. Woohoo! And a couple of shout outs to some fundraisers that are going on. Joe Midnack's doing the building a home for the veterans there in Westfield. You can reach out to Joe at lsvh.org, ls as in Sam, vh.org to get more information. And again, our great conversation last week with Alyssa from the Children's Specialized Hospital and their fundraiser that's going on, the give2csh.org. That's give, the number 2, like Derek Jeter, csh.org. So please, go out and support these great organizations and all that they do. And look, we have a really cool new coaster here for the Random S for all your beverage needs. This is new to the show.
This is Coors Light.
This is Coors Light worthy. It's Coors Light-esque. So anyway.
With all the good beers in this world, Jim drinks Coors Light.
I do.
And you're cool about it, too.
And that's why I wear my cool sunglasses, because that guy told me earlier I was cool in my shades.
Do you ever drink Bud Light?
And it's not. I just don't like Bud Light. It's not any political reasons. I just don't. I don't care for it. It's much sweeter.
Were you Coors Light since you were a little kid? No,
yeah,
not little kid.
Well, since I was a little
You're Irish.
Yeah,
Did you have Coors Light for breakfast before elementary school?
Yeah. I like Coors Light and I like Miller Light. They're the two favorite beers. But then when it comes to wine, I'm really snotty. So that's where the snootiness comes in my world. Anyway, if you want to join the Random Fandom, you can catch us on Spotify. And for Paul and I, where we say, hey, Randommies, always stay random-esque. It was very random meeting you, and now you're part of our lives, the Random family. Thank you. Good night. And drive safely. Thanks.
Have a topic you would like the Randomesque podcast to discuss randomly? Please email us at randomesque@gmail.com. That's RANDUMBESQUE@gmail.com. This has been the Randomesque podcast, produced by Moonrock LLC. And remember, always stay Randomesque.